Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of The Stash Report from The Stash Project. Today is the 24th of April 2015, the last Friday of April, rolling on into May. We have some things to talk about this week, just a few things from overseas and a few things from here domestically, as it is the end of the month, technically speaking. Some of the Round 2 and Revell things are out already, as well as two new kits from Hasegawa and Fujimi respectively, as well as one issue from Aoshima. So there's nothing new to talk about. Obviously we have the giant video we did last week or the week before about all the Shizuka Hobby show information. So that'll probably be, all of the big news for a little while here, as we wait until next month when the actual Shizuka Hobby show happens, and then we'll talk about the kits again more in depth when we have pictures and more solid release information and stuff like that. There is still more or less one whole week of April to go, but of course by the time we get to Friday next week, it'll be May. Welcome to beautiful downtown Kernersville, North Carolina. It's a long story I won't bore you with, but work has sent me down here to retrieve a vehicle. So for the weekend, where it is now decided it's going to be colder than it is at my house or around about there, it is now a wet, rainy mess in North Carolina. So it's a good thing I have something to do. For the people who pay attention, we're on the crappy camera, but this just makes it easier. Plus the video isn't as large, and I'm not swamping the hotel's Wi-Fi trying to get this up online. So let's take a look at what we got. One piece of news I don't think I mentioned, this may have come out last week, or it might have come out Monday right after I filmed the videos. But Studio 27 is going to be doing a detail upset and photo etch set for the Tamiya Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. Right now it looks like it's a $19.96 price with the exchange rate figured in. It's going to have, like I said, a slew of photo etch, as well as at least, I believe, perhaps some metal transfers, because it's talking about emblems and things like that, and some of the emblems for that kit are done in metal transfers from Tamiya themselves, and putting them in photo etch doesn't seem like it would work real well. Plus, they're all supposed to be what they're calling ribbon for seatbelts, so they're going to include seatbelt detail with that too. It's certainly more economical than the $175 full detail set from Aki Scion that has been made. And probably, just as comprehensive in a more budget-conscious way as their kit would be, because in order to get all of Aki Scion's stuff, you either have to buy the $175, Big Mama Jamma kit of it, or you have to buy it in pieces of, this is the interior, this is the chassis, this is the engine, and it's probably going to wind up costing you more. I have one on pre-order because I really don't like the mesh thing. When it's not real metal mesh, Fujimi gets kudos for putting the real metal mesh, sort of a photo etch mesh, in those new reissues of all the Lancer Evolutions that they did last few months ago. But to me, it's still using sort of that screen door mesh that Revell of Germany likes to use. And, if I can replace it and get a few other little bits and pieces that'll make it look more realistic for $20, I'm down for that. So let's talk about what we got to see on the domestic side of things. From Round 2, we told you on our April release video about this. The Piranha Spy Car has been reissued in a more regular size box. This is not going to be the great big art box thing with the suitable for hanging printing in it. It is a regular size box. It looks like it's running about $18, $19 on eBay, so you figure 22 in the hobby shops, which is again going to be about $5 less than it was for that goofy art box one. It's the exact same kit as the art box one. You just lose the art box framing thing, the big picture that's in the bottom of the art box, as well as that 12-page informational booklet about the car. In exchange, you lose $5 for the price. You get the exact same kit as the other one, and you get a little mini box suitable for display, whatever the heck. I mean, I know what those are. I've got a few of the Round 2 reissues over the course of the last couple of years, but it's I guess, it's one of those weird, odd things where some people were really impressed with it. I really honestly could care less. Just give me the model, leave the bells and whistles out. I'm not interested in any of that stuff, but that's just me personally. And the other thing is the 1964 Impala Street Shaker. It's being done on that 1970s Street Rod or Street Machines box art. That is back out. That, of course, gets the Retro Deluxe 1970s box art. You're getting pad-printed tires, both sort of a factory white wall as well as polyglass drag slicks. And then also an expanded decal sheet with pinstripes like the 70 Impala, as well as like names and logos and things like that. So you can build it custom, stock, or some weird sort of drag version that has the blower sticking out through the hood, hence the Street Shaker. Ooh, it's so scary. Revell, you have 2 kits there. One, or actually no, I should say all 3 kits are out from Revell. They are, of course, the selected subject program limited edition Stone trying to talk too fast. Stone, Woods, and Cook 1941 Willys. This is the original 1960s version of this kit, not a reissue of the more currently, 2000s tooled version. This one has 155 parts. It has the opening doors, the opening trunk, the opening hood. Fiddly 1960s Revell quality there. But some people enjoy that, and I certainly am not going to fight the fight against them reissuing those kits because the market's there for them, and the more of these, goofy, weird, old kits with all the opening doors they sell, the more money they have to make stuff I want to buy. Speaking of which, the Honda Civic SI Coupe is being reissued with the Fast and Furious tie-in this time, which of course is odd because there were no Hondas in Fast and Furious of this type. But this is just a straight-up reissue of the somewhat hard-to-find now Tuner Series Civic Coupe. So far, no word on any of the other kits from that series coming out yet, just the 2, the Integra that came out before Christmas, and now this one. And then the Porsche Boxster, the 1/24 scale Wheels of Fire Snap-Tight kit, that is back out as well. It is, just a straight-up reissue of that last, 2002-ish issue of the Porsche Boxster. I don't think it's ever been reissued because it just sort of languished around. It was sort of an odd kit because it was the wrong scale in U.S. terms. Plus, if you wanted a Porsche Boxster, even though it was curbside, the Tamiya kits are obviously a much better solution. Building the Porsche Boxster straight out of the box, and then you could throw it at people's wives, at people's kids at hobby shows. It's indestructible. You could beat it with a briefcase. It won't break. But as an actual functional model kit, there are better solutions for you out there. One other thing I want to mention about the SSP Willie, the box art on it could be the most atrocious box art I have ever personally laid eyes on from Revell. I wish I could show you a picture, but I don't want to steal somebody's eBay auction picture. Go on eBay and look it up. That'll be the best solution for that, unless you happen to have a hobby shop that's in the preferred retailer program. Then you can just go to the hobby shop and look at it yourself. But they've attempted the Round 2 retro box art thing where they've sort of half-assed this is the original box art for the 1960s thing, but it's not. And the box, particularly the actual box top, the part that you would look at if your kits are set, on end like a lunchbox instead of, put in like a brick, it's just awful. It's the original box art with a weirdly photoshopped, goofy, weird, I can't even describe it, you just have to see it, version of the model there. Because you look at the end cap, the part would be, on the very end of a kit, if you put it in the thing like a brick, it's just a picture of the model. And then the side panel one side panel is the actual normal Revell side panel. It tells you what paint you need and how many parts and describes the model. The other side is sort of this 1960s-ish, vintage-ish looking box art that kind of looks kind of cool. It'd have been nice if they had done the whole box that way. But the box top itself does not match the built model and doesn't match any of the other photos on the thing. It's a completely different thing. And it looks like somebody took a picture of the model and then fuzzy airbrushed it the way AMT used to do back on the Ertl days, back in the early 90s. Remember when everything was a photo retouched image of the actual model? Remember those? Like that, except that they then went back and photoshopped the wheels onto this weirdly blurry picture, so the wheels are perfectly in focus, but the car is not. And then they went back and it looks like they drew in ink pen the logos on the side of the car, because the car and the logos are not in the same plane, if you want to call it that. And I don't mean the kind of plane. I mean the actual, like, the side of the car is not tilted as much as the graphics are. So the graphics are not applied to it in a 3D plane fashion where, like I said, it's awful. It's what I expect out of Revell, but, I mean, honestly, guys, it's 2015. What are we on, Adobe Photoshop version like 87.32x now? You can't have anybody in that building that has a better graphics art program than that. It's just shameful. And so that takes us on to the import side of life. Apparently, sleeping for 12 hours after riding a bus for 15 does things to your voice. But what we have on the import side of things here from Fujimi, this is a reissue of a kit that hasn't been out probably about 15, 20 years. Now, the actual kit itself, this Racing Skyline GTR, has been reissued a number of times, but it does not come this way and this markings for about 15 years. This is the 1971 Japan Grand Prix. Obviously, it's a Nissan Skyline GTR, KPG C10. You can read the screen. They are taunting on the front here in this little box down on the bottom left there that you could build it either way. It comes with the decals to do either the number 6 car, which was the winner of the race, or the number 8 car, which is right behind it in the green, which was the number 2, the second place car, number 2 place, the second place car. It does come with entire decal graphics to complete the over the roof version of the graphics that you're seeing there, as well as the down the side. So you don't have to mask anything off here. It is all just a big decal as far as the decal for the hood, the roof, and the trunk, and then decals for the sides. You're not trying to mask, you don't have to mask off the red or the green and then just get pinstripes. It is an entire panel worth of decal in that sense. The other new kit that is out this week, and again, this is new in the quotes because this is just a reissue of the normal Lancia Stratos rally car. This one done as the 1977 Monte Carlo Rally SO, and then Septugal, maybe? A Septugal sponsored car. This was finished overall in 6th place, was a privateer team, not actually factory backed by Lancia. And this had a female driver and navigator. And at the time in 1977, I found out it was at the time, not ever since, but at the time in 1977, this was the highest placing all-female driver-navigator team ever in the Monte Carlo Rally. So it is a little piece of history. If you see down there in the bottom of the left-hand corner, it does say limited edition. So when this one sells out, they will not be doing another run of it anytime in the near future. The Lancia Stratos itself will stay in the catalog of the various kits they have of it that are catalog kits, but this particular decal package will go out of production when they sell out. One thing I will warn you about, and it's kind of hard to see in this picture, but the roof is a different color than the body, and then, of course, the bottom of the body is red. Looked at the decals on this, guys, all there is for decals is the actual decals. They do not provide you with any type of wrap for the roof or the body, so you're going to have to mask off the roof and the red part. Well, you're going to mask off the whole body because obviously you're not going to just leave the body blank white plastic, but you're going to have to do the tritone color scheme on your own volition here. There are not even like for the fender lips. Everything has to be masked off and painted individually, and then you just get the actual stickers that are on the cars. So something to consider if you're looking into that kit. And then lastly, one reissue this week from Aoshima. Another, I think this was just reissued this summer because that's when I got mine. This is, of course, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 Sea West Tuning House racing version. There's also, of course, a street version. I really, really like this version. The whole reason I bought the Sea West kits, because I have the street one too, was because I like this one. I really just need to go home, fish it out of the stack, and build it because I bought the rally art because it's the only one with left-hand drive, and then I looked at this and I'm like, yeah, I really like this. I actually don't have any factory. Everybody likes to tease me and my group of friends that I don't do anything other than factory stock cars as far as what I build. They're always, Jim, he's the factory stock guy. If you want to build the most boring, bland Toyota there exists, call Jim. He's got a model of that. So the irony of that is that of the variety of Evo 10s that Aoshima has done models of in the last, 2009 to 2012 is when the kits actually were produced. of those years and of those models, because there was an Evo X, and then they did the Rally Art, the two C West cars, and then did like an updated Evo X to reflect, I believe, the 2010 model year, to changes that were slightly different about it than the 2008 kit or 2009 kit when it came out. I don't have any of the factory stock cars. I bought the Rally Art only because it had left-hand drive, and then I started looking around. I like the C West racing car especially. C West street car, cool too, but I like the rims on the racing version a lot more. And to this date, I still don't actually own a just factory stock version of the Evo 10. Be interested to see if Yoshima, because there hasn't been much difference in the cars, actually does something this fall or maybe next year, because 2015 is supposed to be the final year for the Lancer Evo 10, and there's nothing planned to come after it as far as like an Evo 11. They were talking about the next Lancer Evo would be a sort of a hybrid sports car in the vein of like a CRZ or something like that. Not something out small or anything, but just a hybrid drivetrain rather than what the engine is now. And it'd be interesting to see maybe if talk Yoshima into doing a final version of the kit. I believe all of the 2015s that are being built are, or well, most of them anyway, at least a special package of them are, the last 2,500 will be built for the North American U.S. market. And they have the left-hand drive parts, obviously, from the Rally Art, so it'd be nice for them to do, I guess that it would be a very limited crowd, maybe, because they don't think it would, I haven't talked to them in the first place, so I don't know what they think, but just thinking the way, a lot of the Japanese manufacturers think, they're going for a global sales market and trying to make something that is U.S. specific, might not sell well. And I don't know that there are enough changes to the actual car to justify updating the Japanese version first to, fund a U.S. version later on down the line. But it would still be nice to have one last Evo kit for the last 2,500 special edition cars that they're doing for us. And guys, I guess that's it. Where are we at here? Well, I absolutely stopped the video. That was why there's a real rough chop there for half a second. We're like 15 minutes. So that's good for now. We'll see you guys next Friday with our regular stash project. And then depending on what we're talking about, because next Friday is what, the 1st? Yeah. So next Friday we probably will not also do the May compilation video because it'll be too early. We won't know exactly what Revell and AMT are putting out yet. But shortly thereafter, we'll be back to our May release compilation video. So, a couple of videos to look forward to in the coming weeks. And we hope everybody's having a good weekend. I'm going to go look at how yucky rainy it is outside and be depressed again because I kind of wanted to get out of. But been in Indiana in a hotel for like 4 days. Then rode a bus down here from Indiana, and now I'm stuck in another hotel. I was kind of looking forward to getting out, and looking around, and seeing what this town's about. I've never been in this part of North Carolina in a long-term stay sort of way, and it's supposed to be cold and miserable all weekend. Yay! So, anyway, guys, see you on the other side.